Hello everyone, welcome back to another Procreate tutorial. Today we're going to be creating this cool paper cut effect in Procreate, and I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. Okay, so let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is create a new canvas. Click on the plus icon there in the top right corner, and we're going to click on the little black folders here. We're going to do a 1997 by 3000 pixel canvas today. I'll put those dimensions on the screen so you can check it out. So here we are. I have provided a color palette and a sketch to go along with this tutorial. You'll be able to download both of these for free on Gumroad. The link will be in the description below. It is a free download, although you have the ability to tip $1 or $2 if you enjoy these tutorials, and it's much appreciated. So let's get started. What I want you to do is load up your sketch. So we're going to click the little wrench icon right here. We're going to hit add, and we're going to insert a photo, and then click on your sketch. You should not have to resize it or anything because the sketch is the exact dimensions of the canvas. So there we are. And I've numbered the layers the way you want to do them. So 1 through background right there. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do number 1 first. And it's just basically this squiggly line right here. What I want you to do is create a new layer. Drag it under your sketch here, and in your color palette, we're going to choose this first yellow color. So today we're going to be using the monoline brush, which comes standard in your Procreate. It is in the, I believe it is the calligraphy. Yeah, in the calligraphy section, and it's the monoline brush. So that's the one we're going to use today. Just like that, and I'm going to kind of just connect them here, just in case. So it'll be, oops. Erase that. Notice I'm not lifting up my pin here. I'm just connecting everything. And then when I drag and drop in there, it'll fill it all in. And now here you can go ahead and alter it if you like, if you want to get those lines straighter or whatever. Okay, so that's layer 2. We're going to start a new layer again. And we're going to drag that under the tree we just did. And now we're going to put in 3. And 3 is also going to be white. So don't worry about picking up your pen. Okay, and then drag and drop right in there. So there's our level 3. Okay, start a new layer again. We're going to put all of these things on different layers. And now we're going to do level 4. Another tree, and it's going to be white also. So I don't want these trees to touch. I want that little gap between them, so make sure you keep that. Okay. Since we're going off the edge of the canvas, you won't have to worry about connecting them. But these top ones you will. So don't lift up your pen, just kind of connect them there. Drag and drop. You fix this little jagged edge here. Oops. I think I need to change my eraser to another brush. There we go. Fix that. So there's layer 4. Again, start a new layer. Okay, now we're going to do 5. And 5 is also going to be white. Oops, what's going on? I was on eraser. Okay, bring it all the way around and connect it right there. And then fill it in. So there's 5. New layer again. Put it under that one. So we're going to do 6. The tree is also going to be white. There's a lot of white layers here. And again, if you're not going off the edge of the canvas, you need to make sure they're connected there. So let's start down here. Okay. So right here. Don't lift up your pen. And now we can take it all the way down. And if you want to make sure they're connected, you could just turn off the layers that you've already drawn and you could see it pretty clearly. I think it's just quicker to do it this way. Oops, I don't like that. Let me make sure I'm on this line. Okay. There we go. Drag and drop the white in there. And we get our trees done. Okay, so we're going to move on to layer 7 next. And layer 7 is going to be this orange color on the right side of the white. Make sure you start a new layer. Drag it under the tree. Here we go. There we go. That orange doesn't look right. Am I? It's probably because I have the sketch. Let me turn that off for a second. Yeah, that's it. It just looked faded out because we're going over the top of that sketch. Once I turn the sketch off, it'll be a more richer orange. Okay, let's do 8. 8 is going to be your next color, which is going to be the darker orange. All right, start a new layer. Drag it under the orange one we just did. And then this one's going to go right there. And then drag and drop it in. Okay, now we're going to do 9. Start a new layer. Drag it under that one. and change the color to this kind of rust. I'm going to do 9. Just like that. Drag and drop it in. And then our background is going to be this really dark red. And I've got the background turned off right now, so let's turn that back on. And let's see what it looks like when I turn off the... That's what it should look like right now. All right, so now that we've got that done, we're going to go into the process of creating this paper cut effect. The steps are going to be exactly the same for each layer. I'm going to put a graphic, or not a graphic, but a handwritten or typewritten notes of exactly what you do. I'm going to explain it once. I'm going to write it on the screen, and then you can do the rest for yourself. So it's pretty easy once you get the first one down. So we're going to start with our top yellow layer. We're going to slide it to the left, and we're going to duplicate it. Go down to the bottom one that you do, or the bottom one, you got 2 of them, right? So go to the bottom one. You're going to click on it. You're going to turn on alpha lock. You're going to make sure you got black selected here. So there's our black. Okay. We're going to click it again. We're going to fill the layer. It's going to turn that whole layer black right there. Not the whole screen, but just that part we colored. Now you're going to turn off the alpha lock. Okay, and then you're going to go to your Gaussian blur, which is the little magic wand. Gaussian blur. I'm going to bring that up to about 19%. And you can see the shadow it made under that yellow part. Okay, that is going to be the same step you're going to do each time. So let's do it one more time. So you're going to go down to layer 3 here. I'm going to slide it to the left. We're going to duplicate it. Click on the bottom one. We're going to turn on alpha lock. And what that does is when you fill your layer, it's going to only fill in that white part right there. Okay, click again. Fill layer. Okay, and then we're going to turn off alpha lock. And the reason we do that is because if we left alpha lock on and we did our Gaussian blur, it's not going to go outside the lines, which we want it to go outside. We want that shadow there. So we're going to turn off alpha lock again. So basically it's turn on alpha lock, fill layer, turn off alpha lock, Gaussian blur 19%, and you're done. Okay, so now let's do our Gaussian blur. Bring it up to 19. And then you can see our tree is shadowed. Turn that magic wand off. Go to your next layer. Slide it to the left. Duplicate it. Click on the bottom one. Alpha lock it. Click it again. Fill layer. Turn off alpha lock. Gaussian blur it. 19%. Oops, went up to 30. All right. So I think you guys got the hang of it. I'm going to cut the video and I'm going to finish the rest of these in. And we'll come back after I got that done. Okay, we're back, and that's what it should look like when you're all done. So you got all the shadows under each layer. Of course, you can't do that to the background color, so you'll do it only to this one right there. That's the last one you can do it to. Okay, so we've got all those done. Now, here's where the magic comes in. Go to your layers. Click on the first black one, and then right swipe all of the other black ones. So that's selecting all of them. Okay. Now you're going to click on your arrow here. So that's selected all of the shadow layers. And we're going to move it just a little bit. I'm going to move it down and to the right a little bit. Now you can see that creates that really paper cut effect, which is really cool. So that's about it. I mean, there's other things that you can do to make it stand out a little bit more. I'll show you real quick. You can take the colored layers, create a layer on top of it, set it to clipping mask, choose a white color, and you can take a white color right on the edge. I'm doing this really quickly so it's not that straight, but you could take your time and do it. Just right on the edge. So what that's going to do is create a really strong contrast between this layer and then the shadow that's under it. This little mistake right there. That's fine. All right, and then when we zoom out there, if you take the opacity of that white layer down a little bit, so it's not so bright, you can see how it kind of pulls it out a little bit more and gives it more of a 3D effect. And I did it really quickly. You could take your time on it, make it really neat. But basically, that is it. I mean, let your imagination run wild. You can do all kinds of things with it. I'll show you another one that I did. Go to the gallery here, this one right here. This one's really cool. So I did a face here, and it's looking down on a city. We got some bottles and trash here, and we got a person standing there. And put some stars in there. So there's so many things that you can do with this that makes it look really cool. And you know what? I'm going to give you guys a paper texture too. And I'm going to show you what you can do with the paper texture. So this will take it that next step. We're going to create a layer on top of everything. All right? And you will insert your photo just like you did with the sketch. So I don't have that in my photo, so I'm just going to copy and paste it from my Procreate. So I'll go to paper textures here. I'll give you this drafting paper here, 300 gram drafting paper. You can see the texture on it right there. Okay, I'm going to copy it all. And for you guys, you'll just have to load the texture in like you did before. So you'll click the wrench here, insert a photo, click the paper texture. Okay, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna put it, let me paste it here. Gonna put it on top, and then you just need to make sure it covers everything. So just like that. Okay, and then you take that layer and you take the blending mode to linear burn. Now look at it. Now it looks like paper. So that's it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. This is a really fun technique to do and try out. And if you've liked everything, please think about subscribing to the channel. We're growing really quickly. Like and subscribe helps a lot for the algorithm. And I will see you guys on the next video. Take care.